Question 1. Jaslyn had W stickers. Krishna had 34 more stickers than Jaslyn. They had 128 stickers altogether. How many stickers did Krishna have? So Jaslyn has W stickers. Krishna has 34 more than Jaslyn. So in this case, we have to simplify in to W. This will be 34 plus W. Then Jaslyn, or they both have in total 128. So which means W plus 34 plus W is equal to 128. So 2W is plus 34 is equal to 128. So 2W will then be equal to 128 minus 34. And this will be equal to 94. So 1W, or W, which is in this case 294 divided by 2, this will give us 47. So we know that Krishna is 34 plus W. So that means we will just have 34 plus 47. And this will give us 81. So therefore the answer is 81. So question 2, the following table shows the parking charges at car park. Parking charges for the first hour or less $2.70. For every additional 1/2 hour or less $1.20. Risha parked her car from 8:15 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Tuesday. How much did she have to pay? So the first first hour or less is $2.70. Then every additional 1/2 hour or less is $1.20. So Risha car parked from 8:15 to 11. So total time park would then be equal to 11:00 p.m. minus 8.15, which is equal to 2 hours and 45 minutes. So the first hour would then be equal to $2.70. So remaining time would then be equal to 2 hours minus 45, 2 hours 45 minutes minus 1 hour. This will be 1 hour and 45 minutes. Okay, so for the remaining time, for every additional half hour, so half hour is basically equal to half times 60 minutes, which is equal to 30 minutes. So I'm going to change this a bit to half, or 30 minutes. Then the thing is, the remaining time that we have is 1 hour and 45 minutes. So how many of this 30 minutes block do we need? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 4? Because if this is 1 hour and 30 minutes, is over here, then can we cut half into 15 minutes? So no, because for this in real life situation, it doesn't count. So 1 hour and 45 minutes is around here, but we still need to pay $1.20. The full 30 minutes. The number of 30 minutes block would then be equal to 1 hour 45 minutes divided by 30 minutes equal to 4. So that means remaining charges would then be equal to 4 times 1.20, which is $4.8. So total charges would then be equal to 2.70 plus 4.80, and this will be equal to $7.5. There you go. So that's the answer. Question number 3, part A. A museum is open to visitors 7 days a week. The total number of visitors to the museum from Monday to Friday last week was 1,557. The average number of visitors of Monday and Tuesday last week was fewer than the average number of visitors from Wednesday to Friday last week. True or false are not possible to tell. The average of visitors from Monday to Friday last week was 311.4. So total visitors from Monday to Friday, which is equal to 1,557. Total days from Monday to Friday is equal to 5. So that means the average then be equal to 1,557 divided by 5, and it will be equal to 311.4. Therefore, this is true. Okay, that's the answer. So for question 4, part B, or the second statement, the average number of visitors from Monday to Sunday last week was 313.5 visitors. So for this, the average from Monday to Sunday is equal to 313.5 visitors. Then total days from Monday to Sunday is equal to 313.5 times 7, and this will be equal to 2,194.5. So this is false because we can't have 0.5 or half a human. Therefore, this statement, or question 4 part B, is false. So so the last statement, the average number of visitors from Wednesday to Friday was fewer than 312. Since we know the average per day from the first statement is 311.4, then what we can do is we can see what are the possible numbers. So in this case, let's say Monday plus Tuesday is basically, let's have it, I would say scenario. Monday and Tuesday will then be equal to 311 plus 311. This will give us 622. So that means the Wednesday plus Thursday plus Friday is equal to total 1157 minus 622. And in this case, it will be 935. So from here, we can get the average, because the average number of visitors from Wednesday to Friday was fewer than 312. Since we know that the average number of visitors Monday and Tuesday was fewer than the average of Thursday and Friday. So if we were to just have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday average is equal to 935 divided by 3. And this will be equal to 311 2/3. So in this case, this statement over here, or you could say that Monday plus Tuesday average is 622 divided by 2. This will be 311. So that means this is true. But scenario 1, we can actually have, instead of 622, is 621. And this will be 310. Okay, so this is scenario 2. Then from there, we will just get the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as like what we did. Wednesday, Thursday plus Friday, 1157 minus 622. So instead of 622, it's 621. This will be 93. Then Wednesday and Thursday, Friday average will be 96 divided by 3. And this will give us 31. And for Monday and Tuesday average, in this case over here, will then be 621 divided by 2. And this will give us 310.5. So if you were to see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday average is lower. So Monday and Tuesday average is lower than Wednesday to Friday. That's what we see over here. So this statement is true, but not this statement. Is the average number of visitors is fewer than 312. Okay, because we have 312 over here. Therefore, not possible. L. Okay, there you go. Question 4. The usual price of a toaster was $80. A discount of 20% was given during a sale. When Madam Singh bought the toaster for an bought online, an additional $10 discount was given after the discount of 20%. What was the total percentage discount given to Madam Singh for the toaster? So in this case, we know that a discount of 20% was given during the sale. So 100% equal to dollars is the usual price. Then 20% is the discount total. In this case, 80 divided by 100 times 20 will give us $16. So when Madam Singh bought, additional $10 discount was given after the $20. So additional discount or total discount is basically 16 plus 10, which is $26. So what was the total percentage discount given to Madam Singh for the so that means total discount in percentage would then be equal to 26 out of 100 times 100%, sorry, 26 out of 80, which is the usual price, times 100%, and this will give us 32.5%. What you see over here. Question number 5. A piece of paper in the shape of a parallelogram was folded along the dotted line GH as shown below. Find angle A. So in this case, we really want to find angle A over here. So angle A is part of the triangle, as what you see over here, which is this red triangle, little bit small triangle. So there are two angles that we need to find, which is basically this angle, this red angle, and this other angle. I'm going to put this in, so you see over here. Okay, so we need to find these two angles. So anyway, angle A is equal to 180 minus angle red minus angle blue. So how do we then get these two angles? So if you remember, you just need to, in a way, visualize when you flip it back. So this blue angle over here is actually this angle. So if you were to flip it, right, this blue angle is over here. So what is this blue angle? So this blue angle is from the parallelogram, but since this side is parallel to this side, therefore we get a blue. It will be 180 minus 123, and this will be 57 degrees. So this blue angle over here is 57 degrees. Okay, now the next thing is we need to find this red angle. So this red angle, if you were to visualize it, it is actually flipped. To get this right angle, what you need to do is, let me just cancel all the angles out. So this right angle, it's this green angle over here, which is this whole thing. So this green angle minus this orange angle as what we see over here. Okay, so how do we then get this green angle and this orange angle? So the green angle is actually from this angle over here. So this green angle is this from this, I would say trapezium-ish. So that means this green angle is equal to 180 minus 46. And this will be 134 degrees. Okay, that's done. So we know this is 134. Now the next thing is, how do you find this orange angle? Since we are folded, the orange actually is this part. See? You see this orange is this part, which means 134 angle orange is 180 minus 134, and this will give us 46 degrees. So now you know that the orange and the green angle, that means we can get the red angle. So that means the red angle is green minus orange, which should then be equal to 134 minus 46, and this will give us 88 degrees. And now since we are able to find all of the other angles, then we can find angle A. So angle A over here is 180 minus red minus blue angle. So that means 180 minus 46 minus 57, and this will be equal to, sorry, it's not 57, not the 46, this is 88. The right angle is 88. Okay, and this will be equal to 35 degrees. So therefore the answer is 35 degrees. Question 6a. In the square grid below, AB and BC are straight lines. AB and BC form two sides of the parallelogram. Complete the following to get the parallelogram. Okay, kind of already shown here, but let me show you how to get AB and BC to find a parallelogram by just finding out how to draw a parallel line. So to draw a parallel line, what you need to do is you need to go up and left or right to the next point. So what do I mean? So point A over here is this, and point B over here is this. So we need to draw a line, not diagonally, but we go up, and then B is on the right. So we go up over here. So we go up how many line or squares? 3, right? 3 squares. And we go right how many squares? 1 square. Yes. Now we're going to do the same to C. So we are just going to do the opposite. Meaning that instead of going from bottom to the top, we're going from the top to the bottom. And how many squares? 3 squares below. And basically we need to find the point, right, of the parallelogram. That means we need to move to the left, which is the opposite. And then this is where we draw the line here. I mean, draw the point. So this is 1. From here, we can actually just draw the line from C to A. There you go. This is how you draw the parallelogram. So part B, CDEF is a trapezium with EF parallel to DC. DE is equal to CD, and EF is twice the length of CD and CF, which is equal to 2 units long. Draw trapezium CDEF on a grid such that it does not overlap with parallelogram ABCD. So first we know that this point is D, and it says here CD is equal to DE. So what this means is that CD is 3 units down, 3 units, and then let me make this in red. And from this point to D over here is 1 unit. D is over here. So this is what we call the length, okay, in this grid. So the thing is, since we know CD is equal to DE, so that means DE is roughly either this way or it's this way on another side. So that means CDE, it's over here. E is over here, so the point is over here. Okay. So that means we can draw a line from D to E like this. So now, the next thing is we need to find where is F. And we also know that this is a trapezium. So it says here, EF is twice the length of CD. So EF is twice the length of CD, which is what we see over here. So what I can do is, I can move this length over here from E. And since it is twice the length, I need to 2 times of this as well. So what this means is I need to duplicate this part, which means instead of 1, we can go 2. And since this 3, we will go twice as well. So 3 and 3, what we see over here, right? So that means from E to F is twice as long as this CD as what we have measured earlier. And Just nice, CF over here is 2 units long. Therefore, let's draw the last line from FE, what we see over here. And that is CDEF. That's what we see over here. If I were to remove everything, it will look something like this. CDEF will look something like this. There you go. So that's the answer. Question 7. E, F, and G are 2-digit numbers. The average of these three numbers is 46. The value of E is 26. The value of F is 7 times the value of G. Find the value of F. So E, E, F, and G average is equal to 46. And we know E is equal to 26. And the value of F is equal to 7 times the value of G. So we need to find the value of F. First thing is, we want to get a total. So E plus F plus G is equal to average times number of numbers, which is average is 46 times 3. And this will give us 138. So that means for F plus G, this we know is 26. 138 minus 26, and this will give us 112. Okay, since we know F is 7 times of G, that means if G is equal to 1 unit, and F is equal to 7 units. So therefore, F plus G is equal to 1 plus 7, which is equal to 8 units. It means 8 units is equal to 112. 1 unit is equal to 112 divided by 8, and this will give us 14. And we want to find F, which is 7 units, which is equal to 14 times 7, and this will give us 98. Therefore, the answer is 98. Question 8. Mr. So spent 1/5 of his money on a pair of shoes and 3/4 of his remaining money on a bag, a shirt, and a hat. The bag cost 3 times as much as the hat, the shirt cost half as much as the hat, the pair of shoes cost $48 more than the shirt. How much money did Mr. So have at first? So over here, let's do it step by step. First one is the shirt costs half as much as the hat. So in terms of units, the hat is equal to 2 units. The shirt costs 1 unit. Then the bag costs 3 times as much as the hat. So in this case, the bag is equal to 3 times the hat, which is 3 times 2 units, will be 6 units. So therefore, bag and shirt and hat is equal to 6 units plus shirt 1 unit plus hat 2 equal to 9 units. So next thing is 3/4 of his remaining money on a bag, on a shirt and a hat. So that means 3/4 of remaining is equal to 9 units. Then 1/4 of remaining would then be equal to 9 units divided by 3. This will give us 3 units. That means the total number of remaining is equal to 4 times 3 units is equal to 12 units. It says here 1/5 of his money is bought in a pair of shoes and ... remaining. So that means remaining is equal to 1 minus 1/5, which is equal to 4/5. So that means 4 over 5 will be equal to 12 units. 4 over 5 of money. Then we can find 1 over 5 money at first which is 12 units divided by 4. This will be 3 units. Then it says here the pair of shoes costs $48 more than the shirt. So we know shoes is 3 units. That means shoes minus shirt equal to 48. Shoes minus shirt in units, in units is equal to shoes is 3 units minus shirt is, say, 1 unit. And this will be equal to 2 units. Therefore, 2 units equal to $48. 1 unit is equal to, not $8, 48. 1 unit is 48 divided by 2. This will give us $24. So we want to know how much money he have at first. So in this case, since 1/5 of money at first is 3 units, 5 over 5 money at first is equal to 5 times 3 units equal to 15 units. Therefore, 15 units, which is total money at first, is 15 times 24. And this will give us $360. So go. So that's the answer, $360. Question 9. Muthu paid $18.50 for a total of 20 curry puffs and sandwiches. He paid 50 cents more for each sandwiches and then each curry puff. Muthu bought 10 more curry puffs and sandwiches. How much did he pay for each sandwich? So from this statement over here, Muthu bought 10 more curry puffs than sandwiches. So I'm going to write let's 1 unit be number of sandwiches. So sandwiches equal to 1 unit. Then curry puff is equal to 1 unit plus 10. And we know that sandwiches plus curry puff equal to 20 from this statement. And we know in units, sandwiches and curry puff is equal to 1 unit plus 1 unit plus 10 go to 2 units plus 10. So therefore 2 units plus 10 is equal to 20. So if you go to simplify this to 2 units, that means 2 units will then be equal to 10. 1 unit equal to 10 divided by 2. This will give us 5. Therefore, the sandwiches is equal to 5 and curry puffs is equal to 15. Then from the statement, he paid 50 cents more than each sandwich than each curry puff. The cost of sandwich is equal to more than curry puff. So I'm going to put here, that's 1p, the cost of one curry puff. The cost of sandwich is basically 1 part plus 50 cents essentially. Therefore, total cost of sandwich equal to 5 times bracket 1p plus p, and this will be 5p plus, or maybe I'll put this as 0.50. And the cost of the curry puff, according to this, equal to 15 times 1 part is equal to 15 parts. So we know from this statement, total cost is equal to 18.50. And we also know the total cost is equal to total cost of sandwich plus total cost of curry puff. And this will be equal to 5p plus $2.50 plus 50p. This will be 20p plus $2.50. Since the total costs are the same, 20p is equal to $2.10. Then 20p equal to 18.50 minus 250. And this will give us dollars in. 1p is equal to 16 divided by 20. This plus $0.80. So the cost of the sandwich is 1p plus 50 cents would then be equal to $0.8 plus 50 cents. And this will give us $1.30. So there you go. The answer, sandwich is $1.30. Question 11. Part A, tank G and tank H are rectangular containers. Tank H measures 40 centimeters long, 30 centimeters wide, and 50 centimeters high. Tank H is 5/8 of full of water. What's the volume of water in tank H? So tank H, 5/8 full will be 5/8 times 40, 30 times 15, and this will give us 11,250 centimeter cube. Pretty straightforward. So for part B, question 11, part B, tank G is 3/5 full of water. After all the water from tank H is poured into tank G is then 7/10 full of water. The base area of tank G is 5,000 centimeter square. Find the height of tank G. Okay, so at first tank G is 3/5 full. And then in the end, after water from tank H added, this will then become 7/10 full. So that means we can actually put this as 6/10 full, make denominator as 10. So with that said, the difference is basically 7 out of 10 minus 6 out of 10 or 1 out of 10. Difference, actually no need to put 6 out of 10 because if you were to put 3 out of 5, we'll do the same. The difference is also the volume of water poured, which is 5/8 of tank A. Therefore, 1/10 of tank G volume equal to 211,250 centimeter cube. Get a full tank volume of 1010. That means we need to multiply 11250 times 10, which is equal to, just add another 0 at the end, which is 11,000 or 112,500 centimeter cube. Find the height of tank G. You need to have volume divided by base. Since we know the base area is 5,000, 11250 divided by base area is 5,000 centimeter square equal to 22.5 centimeters. There you go. So that's the answer. Question 12, part A. Lillian had 9 identical wooden cuboids as shown below. The volume of each cuboid is 648 centimeter cube. She glued these 9 cuboids to form a cube. Find the length of the cube. So we just need to combine total volume of 8 cuboids equal to 648 times 8 equal to 5184 centimeter cube. So since total volume of 8 cuboids is the volume of the cube, therefore find the side of a cube is basically cube root of this. So it's not 8, 9. So we add this will be 5832. So we cube root 5832 and this will be equal to 18 centimeters. So part B, she dipped the cube in a pail of paint. She then separated the cube back into the 9 original wooden cuboid. Find the total unpainted area of the 9 wooden cuboid. Alright, so now we know that we have one cuboid, and we form this cuboid with another cuboid to make them into one small cube. All right, so it looks something like this. So if you were to look at the top view, it will look something like this, right? So the top view itself, and we know one side from our earlier workings is that each side is 18 centimeters. So this over here will then be equal to 18 centimeters. Since this is a cuboid with a cube base, that means one of the side of one cuboid itself is equal to 6. So now we know one side of the cuboid is 6. That means the whole cuboid itself, if I were to just take one part like this would then be equal to 6 times 6. And then we know that the height of the cuboid over here is 18 as well. So therefore, the height of one cuboid is equal to 18. So if you want to double check, 6 times 6 times 18 is equal to 648. Okay, so now we know the dimensions of one cuboid. The next thing is we want to find the total unpainted area of the 9 wooden cuboids. So in a way, let's find out the total painted area. So total painted area equal to 6 sides or 6 surface area of the cube. So we want to find out what is the one surface area of cube, which is basically 18 times 18. Straightforward, right? This is 18 and this is also 18. Okay, and then that will be equal to 324. So the total painted is equal to 6 times of the 324, and this will be equal to 1944 centimeters. So now we know the total painted. Why do we need the total painted? Because total unpainted is equal to the total or 6 total surface area of cuboid minus total paint. Okay, so the reason is because if you have all the total painted surface, right, what you see over here, so this is one painted total surface area, and then we minus the cube itself, then we get a total unpainted. So inside, so you see all what is painted, but the inside you don't see it's painted. So the easiest way is to get this cube, which is the total painted that we have, minus the total surface area of the cuboid, and that's where we left the unpainted. So now we need to find the total surface area of the cuboid. So total surface area of the cuboid itself is basically 2 times the base area plus, so the base area is here, right? Top and bottom. And then we want to get a 4 times the, I call it the height area, or the 4 times the face or vertical face, which in essence is, if I can highlight it, yeah, which is this part over here, this yellow part over here. So in yellow, orange. Okay. All right. So for the base area, pretty straightforward. So cuboid base area is equal to 6 times 6, which is 36. And then the cuboid vertical face, which is in orangey, it's equal to 6 times 18. And this will be equal to 108. So the total surface area of the cuboid will then be 2 times the base area plus 4 times the vertical face. So 2 times of the cuboid base area is 36 plus 4 times 108, and this will be equal to 504 centimeter square. So now we actually can get the total unpainted. So that means it's 6 total surface area of cuboid, which is equal to 6 times 504 minus total painted, which is 1944. Sorry, not 6 total, 9 9 total surface area, because we have 9 cuboids, my bad, and this will be equal to 259 centimeter square. So there you go. So that's the answer. Question 13, part A. The table below shows the rental rates of each item. The graph shows the number of hours Amy rented for each item. Amy rented 1 pair of rollerblades, 1 skateboard, and 2 bicycles. The 2 bicycles are rented for the same duration. How much did Amy pay all together? Okay, so let's write down. The rollerblades is $10 per hour, skateboard is $4.50 per hour, and bicycles is $7 per hour. So we need to know how much Amy paid all together. So rollerblades, 2 hours. Okay, so that means we know that rollerblades is rented 2 hours, skateboard is 2 hours, and bicycle or 1 bicycle is 1 hour. So we're going to calculate the total for rollerblades, total cost of renting the rollerblades, which is equal to, so rollerblades itself, let me refer to this. A pair of rollerblades is $10, and then times 2 is $20. Total cost of one skateboard. So skateboard also have 2 hours, but it is $4.50 is $9. And then lastly, if you don't read the question properly, you might calculate only for one bicycle, but we need to calculate for two bicycles. So that means it's 2 times, so bicycle we rented for 1 hour. Sorry, we rented for 3 hours. So that means 2 times then the bicycle $7, and then times 3 be $42. Therefore, the total cost for everything will be 20 plus 9 plus 42. And this will be equal to $71. There you go. So that's the answer, 71. So for part B, Bobby paid a total of $43.50 for renting one skateboard and one pair of rollerblade. Bobby started his rental both items at the same time and ended his rental of both items at 6:30 p.m. What time did Bobby start his rental? So we know that the rollerblades is $10 per hour and skateboard is $4.50 per hour. So the total or rollerblades plus skateboard is equal to 10 plus 4.50, and this will be $14.50 per hour. So total hours rents will then be equal to 43.50 divided by 14.50, and this will be equal to 3 hours. Since he ended at 6:30 p.m., then started is basically 6:30 p.m. minus 3 hours. This will be 3:30 p.m. So there you go. So that's the answer. Question 14, part A. At first, Nadia had a total of 329 red paper clips and blue paper clips, while her brother had no paper clip. After Nadia gave 40 red paper clips and 25% of her blue paper clips to her brother, the ratio or number of red paper clips to the number of blue paper clips she left was 5:9. How many blue paper clips did Nadia give to her brother? So if you've seen this kind of question before, we can use this thing called before, change, and after table. And what does it look like? Literally looks like a table. What you see over here. Okay, so the before change after table will look something like this. So before is like at first, and then after is like in the end. So we know that what she was left with was 5 units of red, and blue is 9. So we always start from where it's very easy to start with, which is the ratio. Then in the question it says here 25% of her blue paper clips were given to her brother. So that means what's left of the blue in terms of percentage is equal to 100 minus 5. This will become 75%. So 75% of blue left go to 9. Then 100% of blue, which is at first, would then be equal to 9 divided by 75 times 100. And this will give us 12 units. So we can just put units here. So that means blue will be 12 units. So if we were to minus 25%, then this will give us 9 units. Okay, now the next part is after Nadia gave 40 red paper clips. Okay, so after Nadia gave 40 red paper clips, so that means the red after is equal to 5 units. So the change is actually minus 40. So that means the red before is actually 5 units plus 40. So 5 units plus. Do we know the total at first? Is this one. So with that said, from this statement over here, then we can write red plus blue first is equal to 329. And then we know that red plus blue at first from table is equal to 5 units plus 40 plus 12 units, which is equal to 17 units plus 40. Since they are the same, 17 units plus 40 is equal to 329. So 17 units will then be equal to 329 minus 40, and this will give us 289. So 1 unit would then be equal to 289 divided by 17, and this will give us 17. Then how many blue paper clips did Nadia give her brother? So the blue paper clips is 25%. If we were to scroll all the way up, we know that the blue at first 12 units. So blue given to brother in units would then be equal to 12u minus 9u. This will give us 3 units. So that means 3 units then be equal to 17 times 3. This will give us 51 blue paper clips. There you go. So now we go to part B. So part B over here, it says after her brother used some red paper clips and some blue paper clips. The ratio number of red paper clips to the number of blue paper clips that her brother had left became 6:11. What was the least number of red paper clips that her brother could have used? So, can we use the table as well? Yes, we can. From the previous question, we know that we give our brother 40 red and then 25%, which is 51. And from there, he used some red and blue paper clips, and this becomes 6:11. Since the question say what was the least number of red paper clips that a brother could have used, then in a way we can brute force guess and check. Okay, so in this case, what number can we use in order for us to get 6 units and 11 units for red and blue? So my thinking is that for blue itself, maybe I'll use 44. So 11 times 44, and this will be 24. So in this, because if we were to, for example, then that means red use 40 minus 24. This will give us 6. So this is, I would say, scenario 1. If we were to use scenario 2, let's say we multiply each by 5 instead. So 60 times 5 will be 30. Then 11 times 5, 55. Thing is, red used can be equal to 40 minus is 10. Definitely smaller. But the thing is, blue used can be equal to 1 minus 5 be negative 4. Since negative is not possible. Therefore, the answer to this is, so earlier I forgot to put this. Blue used, we used 44. That means we used 7. Therefore, since blue is not negative, this is possible. The answer to this is 15. Question 15, part A. GAOF is a rhombus and GOEF is a parallelogram. AOE, GOC, FOB, FED, and ABCD are straight lines. Angle OFG is 76 degrees and angle GAB is 90 degrees. Find angle EAD. So angle EAD is this in red over here. So we know that angle EAD also hits the 90 degrees. That means angle EAD is equal to 90 minus, we need to know the other angle, the highlight blue over here. So this angle, which is OAG. So do we know angle OAG? So from the question, GAOF is a rhombus. Is gonna highlight this in blue as well. So since that means angle OAG is equal to angle OFG, because opposite goes in a rhombus same. So therefore, this will then be equal to 76. So that means for angle EAG is equal to 90 minus 76, and this will be equal to 14. There you go. So question 15, part B. You want to find angle CDE over here. So angle CDE, to get angle CDE, it is part of this triangle D, D, and E as well. So the thing is that we know this angle that we found in the earlier question, which is 14 degrees. So now we need to find this other angle, which is angle DEA. So angle CDE go to 180 minus angle EAD and minus angle EDA. So to find angle EDA, we need to find the other angle, which is angle on the line, 80 minus, this case is FEO. FEO. So how do we find angle FEO? So we know that angle FEO is part of the parallelogram. So you see over here. This is parallelogram. So that means angle FEO is the same as angle FGO. So we need to find angle FGO, which is in this case over here. So angle FGO actually part of triangle FGO, and triangle FGO is half of the rhombus GAOF, and half of rhombus is an isosceles triangle, which means to find angle FGO, we just have to 180 minus 76, then divided by 2, and this will be equal to 52 degrees. Since you know angle FGO is 52, that means angle FEO is also 52 degrees. Since we know angle FEO is 52, then we can get angle EDA, which is 180 minus 52, and this will give us 128. Now we can find angle CDE, which is basically, if you were to get a diagram, it is 80 in the red color triangle. 180 minus EAD, which is 14, minus not angle CDE. Sorry, the angle that we look for is DEA. So minus 14 minus 128, and this will give us 38 degrees. So you see over here. All right. So for 15C, we want to find out if since DF, so where is DF? DF is over here. So DF is parallel to CG, right? So the thing is that is it parallel? Is DF parallel to CG? So to just recap, that we have a parallelogram GEFO or GOEF, sorry. This is parallel. One is parallel to this side. So since we are talking about DF, which is this whole thing over here, is it parallel to CG, which is this thing over here? So since GF and FD are straight lines, they are parallel. Okay, the next part is, do we know that CD is parallel to GF? So in this case, they parallel? They're not, because CD is not really parallel at all. Therefore, CDFG is a trapezium rather than a parallelogram, right? So you can write that since FE is parallel to GO as they are part of the parallelogram GOEF, that means DF is parallel to CG. However, CD is not parallel to the GF as there is no proof to support it. Therefore, CDFG is a trapezium. Right. Question 16, part A. Mr. Tan had some bags to sell at his store. The line graph below shows the number of bags left in Mr. Tan's store at the end of each day from Monday to Sunday. Mr. Tan sold each bag for $18. On Saturday, for every 2 bags sold to a customer, a third bag was given for free. On Sunday, for every bag sold to a customer, a second bag was given for free. How many bags were left in Mr. Tan's store at the end of the day? So for this, we need to look at the number of gaps. In this case, we have the number of gaps. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 gaps go to 20. 1 gap equal to 20 divided by 5. This will be 4. So we want to know how many bags were left in Mr. Tan's store at the end of Wednesday. So Wednesday over here, if we were to look at this, the line, the bits, then it will just be 1, 2, 3. So 3 gaps. So Wednesday is basically 80 plus 3 gaps times 4. This will be 92 bags the end of Wednesday. So let's go to part B. So part B over here says how much money was collected from the sale of bags on Tuesday. So in order for us to calculate Tuesday, we want to find out not only on Tuesday, but we also need to find out on Monday as well. So in this case, the difference is just 1 gap, was here over here. So number bags sold on Tuesday is equal to Monday left minus Tuesday left. In this case, it's equal to 1 gap. Or if you want to calculate, it will be 116 minus 112. This will be equal to 4. So total sold on Tuesday is equal to 4 times 18, and this will be give us $72. So always check what the graph is showing. It says here number of bags left. So that means the starting number, which is Monday, and the number at Tuesday, the difference is how much is sold. In this case, I'm gonna write here sold, put it over here. Otherwise, then you will mistake of calculating how much bags were left and multiplying the dollars amount, which is not exactly what we want. All right, let's go to part C. From question 16, part C, from Tuesday to Sunday, on which day was the most amount of money collected from the sale of bags? Okay, so in this case, we can look at how much has been sold. So same thing from Monday, Tuesday, mid. So generally, if you are able to see the steepest curve, then it's actually much. So if we were to just calculate everything from Sunday and to itself, then we are able to calculate how much. Okay, so from here, we want to know each individual, I would say, gaps between like in between. So the number of gaps over here, in this case, we put it in green. This is 1 gap. Okay, and then from day to day, same thing. We want to calculate gaps. So we have 1, 3, 4, and 5. 5 gaps. Everything here are number of sold. Then over here, we have how many gaps? 1, 2, 3. Next one, couple, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 inside. Okay, so I've calculated from each of the days. So Tuesday we have 1, Wednesday we have 5, Thursday we have 3, Friday we have 6, Saturday we have 4, Sunday you have 8. So the thing is that if you think it is Sunday, then not exactly. Because on Sunday, for every bag sold to a customer, the second bag was given for free. So that means, throw this out, on Sunday, for every bag sold to a customer, the second one is free. All right, so this is the number of gaps that we have over here. So we know one customer on Sunday get free 2 bags. So number of bag on Sunday is equal to, so we know the gap, the previous question is, one gap is 4. So in this case, as 8 gaps equal to 8 times 4 be 32. And the thing is that for Sunday, 2 bags Sunday equal to $18. So 32 bag Sunday equal to 32 divided by 2 times 18. And this will become $288. Okay. But the thing is, the second last one is Friday. So number of bags on Friday is 6 gaps. Means is 24. The thing is that Friday, no discounts or freebie. Means Friday so equal to 24 times 18 to be $432. So the thing is that since Friday has dollars for 32 and Sunday has 288, Friday is the most amount of money collected from the sale of bag. So there you go. That is Friday. So question 16, part D. What was the least possible amount of money collected from the sale of bags on Saturday? So Saturday is 4 gaps, means 4 times 4, which is 16 bags. Now the thing is that from the question on Saturday, third bag was given after 2 bags is sold for each customer. So that means one customer, or in essence, 3 bags sold go to bags price. Means 3 bags sold Saturday go to 2 times 18. This will give us $36. So we need to know the number of group of 3 bag groups that sold the bags. We know that the total is 16. Then divided by 3 to give us 5. Remainder 1. So that means if one group that sold 3 bags go to $6, that means 5 groups basically. 5 times 6 be 1/8 total. Then B means is 5 groups that sold 3 bags plus 1 remainder bag to 180 plus 18 be $1. So that's the least amount of possible collect. Question 17a. The figure is made up of 3 identical big circles, 2 identical small circles, and 2 identical circles. The area of each square is 200 centimeters square. Find the radius of the big circle. So if you were to focus on the circle on the left, we know that this whole thing is 200 centimeters square. One square equal to 200 centimeters square. You also know that one square is equal to 2 right angle triangle. Or in essence, you can say it is 4 equal right angle triangle with equal base and height. Okay, so that means 4 equal right angle triangle go to 200. Then 1 equal right triangle be 200 divided by 4. Okay, so now 1 equal right angle triangle, we know that is 50. Then the next thing is, so 1 equal right angle triangle is equal to half times base height. So since this height same and that base height each, okay, not 2 units, but 1 unit. So this is a bit more advanced. So you have half times 1 unit times 1 unit. Okay, so we know that 1 equal right angle triangle is now equal to half times 1 unit times 1 unit. You know, 1 equal right angle triangle is 25 the square. So that means half times 1 unit times 1 unit is equal to 25 the. Okay, so this is where the trouble is, I guess. So for this, how do you then calculate? So how do we then get half, or in a way remove half? So we multiply both sides by 2. So example, if 1 unit is 10, then half times 10 times 10 equal to 25. If you were to times 2 on each side, then this will equal to, I think, just multiply both by sides. So that means half times, so 2 times half and times 5. This will then become 1 times 1 unit times 1 unit equal to E. Sorry. So not 25 is 50. Yeah. So this will be 50. Will be 50 as well. So then you see 1 unit times 1 unit equal to, so 2 times 50 is 100. So 1 unit times 1 unit is 100. So basically, what number multiply itself is 110. That means 1 unit, since base and height of triangle is also the radius of big circle. So that means radius, so 10 centimeter. Okay, there you go. That's the answer. Part B, find the total area of the shaded part. So we know that the radius of the circle is 10 centimeters. So we just want to find the shaded part. So let's go for the left circle, shaded part equal to big circle minus square. So we know the big circle over here will then be equal to 2 times I times radius. Oh, that's circumference. So I times radius minus square is 200 centimeters. Okay, so 3.14 times 10 minus 200 go to 110 centimeter square. The next one, no, is middle circle shaded part equal to 2 times of the small circle. So for the small circle radius, basically half of big radius. Because if you go to draw this red, okay, so this is half of it radius. Okay, so small circle radius is basically half of big radius. So that means go to half times 10, which is 5 centimeters. So for middle circle shaded part, we're going to have 2 times small circle, which is I times radius. Yes, so that means 2 times 3.14 times 5 times 5. This will be equal to 157 centimeters. So the last one on the right circle shaded part. So it's basically 1/4. Yes, 1/4 of basically the big circle minus square. We actually know big circle minus square. We have to go all the way up. See, big circle minus square. So that means it's 1/4 times 110 plus 275, 27.5 square. Now total shaded part equal to, we just calculate everything. So the left circle shaded part is 110. The middle one is 157 plus and 7.5. Okay, sorry, my mistake. So if I were to scroll all the way up, you see that the left circle shaded part, I originally put 3.10, should be 3.14, because the pi is 3.14. So the answer should be 114 for the left circle shaded part, which is one. Then yeah, I also need to change the last circle shaded part, which is 1/4 of 114 instead of 110. And this will be 28.5. So if I were to add them up, then this will be 29.5 centimeters square. So that's it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more of this kind of video, subscribe down below. Comment down what other things you want me to show you next. See you in the next one. Bye bye.